Thank you very much. Good afternoon, everybody. Very excited to be here to be New York Red Bulls' new head of sport. I arrived 3 weeks ago. Feel excited to work in this great league MLS, who did an amazing job over the last decade. And I feel privileged also to live in this wonderful country. Some of you might probably know that I was working for Red Bull Global Soccer from 2015 until 2017 as a soccer coordinator. So from that time on, I still know many people in this great club, like our GM, Marc de Grand Prix, our CFO, Luis Miguel Garcia, and for sure our sporting director, Dennis Hamlet, and many others in this wonderful club. So I have to tell you, the timing of my arrival could have been a little bit better. I arrived exactly the day after the disappointing loss in the Open Cup semifinal in Orlando. Then we had another, I would call it a sloppy performance against Colorado. It was not the easiest beginning here, and heads were down, but I could immediately feel that we have a great group of players, an amazing coaching team, the staff. They all work together to get out of this situation, and I could feel immediately that there's a fantastic energy in our facility, that there's a great connection between coaching team, staff, and players. And I'm really happy for the boys that we came back on track in Atlanta last Wednesday, and hopefully we will now continue to perform like this in the last third of regular season. And that was very important, the win on Wednesday in Atlanta. So I'm here to help the team, the coaching staff, everybody to develop this club, to develop our team, to be able to get wins, and for sure to win trophy. This is what this sport is about, especially in this league where every team or all the teams are so close together, not like in Germany where you can say already today who will win the league. So this is amazing, and therefore I'm happy to be here and to help the club to grow. And finally, for me it's important to tell our fans who are great, who always create a special atmosphere in this wonderful arena here, one of the best in this country. It's important for me to point out that I'm happy to work for a unique soccer club, for an independent soccer club, in the family of Red Bull, but we are not a farm team, and this is very important for me to point out. We are here to develop players and to win trophies, and therefore I'm very excited to be part of this wonderful family. Thank you.
We will now take questions. First thing I saw was Ben Cork. Ben, you have the floor.
Welcome, Jochen. Welcome to New York. Ben Cork, I'm with SB Nation. And just my first question, I guess, will be kind of big picture as far as how you envision the head of sport role. Obviously, there's also a sporting director, Dennis Hamlet, and your predecessor in the role, Kevin Thelwell, kind of styled himself as working a lot on the infrastructure of the club, academy, reserves, facilities, things like that, while also working with the first team. Is that how you envision the role? Do you think Dennis Hamlet will have somewhat of a wide responsibility for the first team, or do you think you'll be involved in the first team as well?
I mean, as a head of sport, I oversee the whole soccer department, from the first team over the second team to our academy scouting department. And Dennis, as I said, I know him now for more than 7 years. He's a great guy. He's a fantastic sporting director, and he's a little bit closer to the first team on a daily basis. But we work together. And really looking forward to do that. But I think I wouldn't see it that different to how Kevin saw this role. So I think this is the way you have to interpret this job.
Next, we'll take a question from Mark Fishkin, seeing red.
Hey, Jochen. Hey. Question from Mark Fishkin, seeing red. Is Red Bull prepared to do everything it can to finally deliver a title, a MLS Cup trophy, to its fans?
Definitely. I mean, this is why we are here. And I mean, I have to point out the club did an amazing job over the last decade. I think the club qualified 11 times in a row for playoffs, and this is not given by God. This is hard work. A lot of people did a great job in this period. And then when it comes to playoffs, it's about momentum. It's about luck. Then you have to be there at the right point of time, and then you have to prepare for those games. Unfortunately, the track record in the last playoffs games hadn't been the best one, but it's always a new challenge, and first of all, we need to qualify for the playoffs, and when you qualify for the playoffs, then it's exciting to play these games. And but coming back to your question, yeah, we do for sure everything, but we do it our way. We don't copy any other club. We do it our way, the Red Bull way, and we are convinced that this is the right one.
Next, we'll go to Daniel Rebane.
How you doing, Jochen? Welcome to New York.
Thank you.
Daniel Rebane, Area Sports Network. Over the past couple of seasons, Leipzig in Germany obviously has developed into a German juggernaut per se. They've won the Pokal last year. They buy and develop young players and sell them off. How could you kind of like replicate that here in New York?
I mean, I think it's different to compare these two clubs because different leagues, and I think it's not a very good idea to compare these two clubs. We are our own club, as I mentioned before, a unique club. We have to find our way to be successful in the future.
Next, we're going to Gary Redmond.
Good afternoon, sir, and welcome to New York. I'm Gary Redmond from Red Bull News Network. A couple of questions I'd just like to ask you. You said earlier that you feel that this team is an independent team. It's not a farm team by any stretch of imagination. However, the constant narrative that whenever this team runs into a patch of failure, that's the first thing that the fans will point out. So my question is this. What do you say to those fans? Many of them have pretty much given up after following this team for 27 years, that this model is going to be a successful one. And second, are there going to be some positive changes in the next upcoming transfer window, which most folks saw as a failure? Your word, sir.
Yeah, thank you for the question. Well, the question is how you define success. If you win 3 times in 6 years Supporters' Shield, then for me this is success. I know and I fully understand that for sure our fans and supporters want to see the MLS Cup in this wonderful building, want to see the Open Cup in this building for sure. But winning 3 times the Supporters' Shield, which is a great achievement, this is more than something. And yeah, for sure we will do something in the upcoming transfer windows in order to strengthen our roster. But again, we will do it our own way, and we don't copy any other club.
Next, we'll go to Zoom.
Question from Eric Friedlander. The club has struggled to fill holes on the sporting side. No listed head of scout and the recent departure of an academy scout. Is this a department that needs to be expanded?
Yeah, for sure. When you only look at the numbers of employees we have in this department, it's quite obvious that this department has to be expanded, and that we need to find a new head of scouting, and that we need to find youth scouts for sure. This is more than obvious, yes.
Next, we'll go to Michael Batista.
Thank you so much for the time. Something you mentioned before was that you have previous experience with Red Bull Global, and something this year especially, one of the best players on the field for Red Bulls in MLS has been Carlos Coronel, someone who's come from the Red Bull family of teams in Europe. The previous I want to say administration really focused on academy players. Do you think that going forward, the team's going to really try to expand its foot, talking with the rest of the Red Bull family of teams and getting players to come to New York more?
I mean, it depends. We always have a great exchange with the other Red Bull clubs, with the leadership team, with Oliver Minzlaff, Mario Gomez, who I know since he joined at the age of 16 our club in Stuttgart. So there's a great relationship. We have a fantastic exchange, and when there are opportunities to get players like Carlos, for sure we will try to do that. But I mean, there are many other clubs who also have great players who could be attractive for us here.
Next, we go to Silvana.
Welcome to New York, Jochen.
Thank you.
Silvana Budasheim, also from SB Nation. You mentioned that you had been part of the Red Bull family up until 2017. Have you seen a huge shift in how Red Bull conducts itself in the time that you've been away?
Well, I was with Red Bull until 2019, because I was then from 17 to 19 with RB Leipzig. I wouldn't say that there was a big shift. The clubs have developed. So for sure there happened a lot in Brazil. The club is on an amazing way of success. But I didn't think that shifted a lot. The idea of how we want to play soccer is still the same. It's unique and it's a successful one. And I think we need to follow that path and develop the club.
Next, we'll go to Zoom.
Combining two questions here from Dan and Mark. Taking a look at the roster and the construction of the roster is one of the youngest in the league, one of the lower payrolls in the league. How do you parse that as the head of sport, and how do you build moving forward?
Well, to be honest, I even after 3 weeks, I love this team. The energy they're showing every day is amazing. Their working attitude is fantastic. In the games, like on Wednesday, they leave everything on the pitch. And for sure we will try to strengthen the squad in the next transfer period. But I don't want to talk too much about the next transfer period. We're still in this season. Transfer window is closed, which is good, because then that calms down everything a little bit. And we can totally focus on the performances on the pitch. We still have, I think, 12 games to play in the regular season, and hopefully many more in the playoffs. So I think it's time to talk about transfers, etc., how we strengthen the squad when this season will be finished.
Next, we'll hear Robin.
I want to talk a little bit about big picture. Okay, there's nothing we can do about the transfer that's done and dusted. We're focusing on the future, focusing on the here and now. Based on that, your predecessor, Mr. Thelwell, constantly referred to this team as a big club. So, given what you know about this team and what you've seen thus far, do you share his view? And more importantly, since now you're literally taking over the role, what is the ultimate vision for this club, and what you want to be able to say to these supporters? Many of them feel that either this team is going backward or in a circle. What are you going to say? What do you say to them that's saying, okay, you know what, this is a team worthy of your support, and although your patience is tested at this point, give us a chance? Yeah,
I would say it's not important, what kind of words I find about our team or the club. Important is how we perform on the pitch. So Gerhard Struber and his coaching team, they're doing an amazing job The performances they bring on the pitch are fantastic. I mean, in every long season, there's a period where you're struggling a little bit. Hopefully, we have this now behind us in the last 3 weeks. So, regarding the other question, I mean, for sure, the vision is and the goal is to win trophies. I mean, and there is this chance in this league, and for sure, even in this season, we are by far not the favorite. But I mean, let me look. You are all too young. The older ones might know who won the Olympic gold medal in ice hockey in 1980 in Lake Placid. And this team was by far not the favorite. Yeah, so we are two now. And you know, this is what sports makes so special. You don't have to be the favorite, and it's you know, totally different to a Broadway musical. You know how a Broadway musical will end. But here you will not. You don't know how it will end, and this is amazing. And especially in this league, what I mentioned before, where clubs are so close together. So we have to find the right triggers to make smart decisions, and then for sure we will be successful, and hopefully more successful than in the past. That means that we win a trophy or trophies.
Nick Claytor with the Ball Out. Congratulations on the new role. You
Thank
said that championships are the goal. What decisions are you going to make for this season? So when you're here now, what decisions are going to make immediately to try to win a championship this year? You guys are not that far away from the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we are not far away from the playoffs, but nevertheless, with 40 points, we will not reach the playoffs. So we need a few more, and. You know, as we mentioned before, the transfer window is closed, so it's now up to the coaching team, the staff, and the players to bring the performance on the pitch. I'm there to support, to help, and for sure, my onboarding process is not over yet. I still need, you know, to learn how things work in this club. I need to meet people for the first time. I need to get an overview, and this is important. And so I think my influence at the moment regarding our performance on the pitch is pretty small, but that's okay.
We have time for 3 more questions with Jochen. We'll take 2 from Zoom, and then we'll finish off with Ben Court.
I have one from Eric Friedlander on Zoom. When you say RBNY wants to win our way, can you go into exactly what our way might be?
Our way is, on the one hand side, the style of football we play, you know, with high intensity, pressing, counter pressing, playing vertical, and on the other hand side, it's about, you know, that we especially count on young players, high potential players. And what does not mean that I would rule out also to sign 1 or 2 experienced players in the future. So, you know, when I had been in Stuttgart, we signed in 2006 the 29-year-old Mexican Pavel Pardo. And 1 year later, we have won the Bundesliga. And I can tell you, it was exactly because of him. I mean, there were other players on the pitch as well. He was not alone. But he was the key which we needed to be successful, because he was a leader on the pitch, off the pitch, and he was successful in his years before at Club America, and that was the right piece in our puzzle. So I wouldn't rule that out, but mainly we focus on high potentials. This is the Red Bull way.
Another one from Zoom from Charles at MLSsoccer.com. Jochen, personally, why MLS now for you? Why is this the next move in your career?
Yeah, because the New York Red Bulls play in MLS, so that's why. No, it's a fantastic league. I said before, you know, great development over the last years. It's the fastest growing league in the world. I think the World Cup 26 will have a huge influence on soccer in the US, and you know, more and more kids are coming to soccer, And you know, the growth of this league is unstoppable. And so I'm just happy to be here to work in this league, but also to live in this country.
And we'll finish off with Ben Cork.
Just you mentioned Gerhard Struber earlier. Obviously, he's the head coach of the club. Just your relationship with him, going back to working in Red Bull, and your relationship with him in the last few weeks. What you have seen.
Yeah, I know Gerhard for many years back when in his days in Austria. Great coach. You know, a pure Red Bull soccer coach, full of energy. His work ethic is amazing. You know, he speaks the language of the players, full of energy, and he's able to teach this way of football or soccer we want to see. So it's great to work together with him. You know, we have a very good relationship, and it's great spending time with him and talking about soccer with him, about MLS, but also about European football. So I'm really feel privileged to work together with him.
Joachim, we appreciate your time. Thank you for joining us.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you.